Let's have a look at the markets. Tom Piotrowski live from CommSec. Now, how do we open up this new working week? Tom, good morning.
Indeed, Pete, good morning. We're going to kick off with a modest improvement. The futures are telling us we'll be up by around a little under 1/3% when trade gets underway. But important to note, Pete, that on Friday, the markets threaded the needle on arguably one of the more important data releases in recent weeks. And this is a measure that the US Central Bank looks at really carefully. It's titled rather awkwardly. It's the Personal Consumption Expenditure Deflator. And it is a measure. It's exactly why kids grow up not wanting to be an economist with a title like that. But it is important because it is a measure of inflation that the US Central Bank looks at really carefully, and it will influence what they do this week when it comes to interest rates. And the markets have been able to rally this year because of the belief that inflation's tapering off, particularly in the United States. This consolidated that view. The markets are now pricing in a 1/4% rate hike, which will be one of the features of this week. There's a lot to get through this week in terms of economic and corporate news. Thursday morning local time will be when we get that Fed decision. This morning, as I said, we'll kick off with a small improvement thanks to those gains for the US market. The ASX 200 up by about 6.5% in year-to-date terms. A similar outcome for the S&P 500 so far.
What's that deflator again? What's it called?
The Personal Consumption Expenditure Deflator.
The PCED. It's not even a really good acronym.
It's it's not the sort of thing that gets kids in, but it is certainly the sort of thing that should have everyone else's attention because it is such an important measure. They probably title it a little more in friendly terms, then more people will pay attention.
What about just the deflator?
Oh, well,
that's why
deflator
I'm here
is actually...
You're there.
Yes. It's perhaps.
My ideas, they just never work. Hey, good to see you, Tom. I'll talk to you again later on.